Hey everyone, it's Christian, your local agent here in the Vancouver and Burnaby area. Today's video, I want to talk to you about the best used bookstores in Vancouver. And I'm a bit of a book hound. I like good reads, especially like older classic books because they've stood the test of time and they have so many gems in them. And every couple of months after I've closed 2 or 3 deals, I'll make it a point to treat myself. So when I'm driving down the street, if I see a used bookstore, I hit the brakes, pull over to the side curb, and I jump inside. And I've done this more than a dozen times, so I've gotten a sense of what the best used bookstores are in Vancouver, in my opinion. I'm going to share a little bit with you. Just before we do that, though, I wanted to touch on the importance of reading. You know, the futurist Kevin Kelly says, just read 10 books and it'll change your life. And I found that to be true for myself. And a short anecdote from a Christmas party I went to many years ago, where I was sitting next to a gentleman and we were both sharing a glass of wine, and he asked me a question. The question was, he said, "Christian, do you know how many books the average CEO of a Fortune 500 company reads every year?" I said, "No, how many?" 54. So leaders are readers. CEOs, people at high levels in companies, investors, their minds are turned on and they are constantly charging that mental muscle. So that's something that we want to do. And it's a lot of fun as well as you get older and learn more. You know, it's said, I was doing some research for this video and I found that Warren Buffett, in his earlier career, when he was in his 30s and 40s, was reading 10 to 12 hours a day, or consuming about 600 to 700 pages worth in one day. How many books does the average person read in a single year in Canada and the United States? It's not even one. And that's the average person. Maybe only about 20% of people of the general population actually consumes books on a regular basis. So this is something you really want to do for yourself. If there's only one habit, you don't need to involve anybody else. It's all on you, and you can choose what you want to read, obviously. So when it comes to reading, and a couple of things I wanted to add. The big difference it makes is it sharpens your thinking. That's been my own experience. Gives you new ideas. I find they're also powerful empathy makers if you're reading novels, because you're having to step into the main character's shoes and then maybe into the antagonist's shoes. So you're seeing things from different angles. And you never know. Sometimes just 1 or 2 ideas from a book can absolutely change your life. And so that's the way I approach reading. Now, best used bookstores in the Vancouver area. In my opinion, number 1 is Carson Books on Main Street. He's at 4340 Main Street. A great little bookstore. It's not that little, but he's got books piled on books. So it's full of the classics. Lot of novels from the 19th and 20th century. Also a business section. I'm always hunting business books myself, and I find he's got a good selection of business books and biographies, which I love to consume as well. And so Carson Books, I think that's the best used bookstore, and he's really involved in the business. So there's a lot of turnover, new books coming in that you can get for yourself. So check out Carson Books and Records, as it's called. My second recommendation is going to be McLeod's Books. Now, McLeod's Books is a bit of a cathedral to books, and it's in downtown at 4355 Pender Street. You may be familiar with this one if you're walking downtown, because it's just, he's on the corner of an intersection there, and it looks like you're walking into a bookstore from the 1920s. And he's got everything. More of a focus on literature, I find. So it's less appealing to me, but it should be its own sort of tourist spot. I'm not sure it's necessarily the safest place. I've seen some broken glass in there, but it really feels like you're walking through a bookstore 100 years ago. So you would check that one out. And it's light on business books. And the third bookstore I'm going to recommend is the Value Village chain. Now, Value Village is for used clothing, but they've also got a decent used book offering, and some of them are as cheap as $2 or $3. And so you've got a lot of options in there as well. And so I'll like to sometimes stop by and see what they have. The fourth one I would recommend is a smaller one on commercial. It's called the People's Co-op Bookstore. I've found parenting books in here, and also there's a lot of books on politics and philosophy here. Though I've gotten some books on business and autobiographies here too. And so sometimes when I'm passing through the commercial area, this one's at 1391 Commercial, I'll pop into the People's Co-op Bookstore to check it out. So hope that's been of help to you. Those are some of the best used bookstore recommendations I have for you. Go check them out, and we'll see you in the next video.